But we go and meet everybody and say, hey, great show, and then still live.
Remember this?
Amerie?
Yes.
Yeah. Sicko mode. I feel like this is Beyonce was in her nachos for that, for B-Day.
Okay, guys. Okay, everyone, this situation involving claims that Beyonce has borrowed from other artists is becoming increasingly controversial. Some people believe few are willing to speak out because they fear being pushed out of the industry or damaging their careers. However, reports suggest that Amerie feels she has nothing left to lose. According to the rumors, staying silent has only made things more difficult for her. There are even claims that her financial situation has become so severe that she is now at risk of losing her home.
And so I still feel like I haven't reached my peak yet. Like I feel like it's just because it was like just starting.
It's fair to say that inspiration plays a huge role in music. Every artist borrows ideas, experiments with different sounds, and builds on what came before. As the saying goes, there's nothing new under the sun. The debate usually begins when fans feel the line between inspiration and imitation becomes blurry. Beyoncé has been at the center of those conversations more than once. Over the years, critics and fans alike have pointed to songs, performances, and visual concepts that they believe resemble earlier work by other artists. Supporters argue that collaboration and creative influence are common throughout the music industry, while critics believe some creators don't always receive enough recognition for their contributions. One example frequently discussed is If I Were a Boy. The song was written by BC Jean and producer Toby Gad, who originally developed it from Jean's personal experiences. Before Jean launched it as her own single, Beyoncé recorded the track for her 2008 album I Am Sasha Fierce Star. Because BC Jean is officially credited as one of the song's writers, some fans see the situation as a standard example of how songs are often recorded by different artists, while others believe the circumstances were disappointing for an emerging singer hoping to establish her own career. Questions about songwriting credits have also followed Beyoncé over the years. During live performances, she has spoken about the emotional meaning behind songs like Irreplaceable, leading some listeners to assume she wrote it herself. However, songwriter Neo has publicly explained that he wrote the song before Beyoncé recorded it, and he is officially credited as one of its writers. Fans continue to debate whether there was ever any misunderstanding or whether her comments simply referred to her connection with the song rather than claiming sole authorship. Another topic that generated widespread discussion involved the choreography for Run the World, Girls. After the performance debuted, viewers noticed similarities to routines created by Italian performer Lorella Cuccarini. Beyoncé later acknowledged that she had been inspired by the earlier performance, although opinions remained divided over whether the similarities represented homage or went beyond inspiration. Amerie is another artist whose name often appears in these conversations. When she released her debut album All I Have in 2002, her collaboration with producer Rich Harrison introduced a distinctive sound that blended contemporary R&B with strong go-go influences. The album's lead single, Why Don't We Fall in Love, helped establish her unique musical identity, and many fans appreciated its fresh style. When Beyoncé later released Crazy in Love, which was also produced by Rich Harrison, some observers noticed similarities in the production style and even compared elements of the visual presentation. Others argued that sharing a producer naturally results in creative overlap, especially when that producer has a recognizable musical signature. Whether those similarities reflected influence, coincidence, or a shared creative direction remains a subject of debate among fans. Amerie continued working with Rich Harrison on her second album and released One Thing in 2005. The energetic single became one of her biggest hits and further cemented the sound they had developed together. According to Amerie, she was determined to keep the song after learning there were discussions about giving it to another artist, making it an important milestone in her career. Years later, conversations comparing Beyoncé and Amerie still surface online. Some fans believe Amerie's style deserved more recognition, while others argue that both artists made distinct contributions to R&B. Regardless of where people stand, the discussion highlights a larger issue within the music industry: Where should the line be drawn between inspiration, collaboration, and originality? It's a question that continues to spark debate among music fans today.
One thing came out in 2004 because I leaked it over Christmas because everyone will be on break, so they can't stop anything. Exactly. So I was like, I'm gonna be out here, I'm gonna drop a match. You know? For me, I was like, look, I think I might get dropped. So I just want people to hear the music. I don't really care about getting paid for it. I just want people to hear it because I believe in it. And they're on Christmas break, so we can just do it. And at the time, they were trying to like give the record to somebody else. They were trying to do that, but they couldn't because I wrote on the record too. So you can't just take it. And that was frustrating for them, I guess.
But why?
Amerie has since addressed one of the biggest rumors surrounding her career, making it clear that she was never offered the chance to record Crazy in Love. For years, fans questioned why she wasn't on the track, especially since its sound reminded many listeners of her music. According to Amerie, producer Rich Harrison never played the song for her. While some have speculated that it may have originally been intended for her, she has said she was never involved in the recording process. The comparisons didn't end there. When Beyonce later released Green Light, many fans noticed similarities between it and Amerie's hit One Thing. Although Green Light was produced by the Neptunes rather than Rich Harrison, listeners pointed to shared elements such as energetic R&B production, syncopated drum patterns, prominent horn arrangements, and a similarly fast tempo. Those similarities fueled ongoing discussions online about whether the songs reflected common musical trends or a broader influence. Amerie has also spoken about developing a distinctive sound alongside Rich Harrison during the early stages of her career. She has described their creative partnership as something unique, saying they built a style together that reflected both of their musical ideas. Because of that, some fans believe her influence on mid-2000s R&B has never received the recognition it deserves. Despite earning critical acclaim with songs like Why Don't We Fall in Love and One Thing, Amerie's commercial momentum eventually slowed, while Beyoncé's career continued to reach new heights. As one of the biggest stars in the world, Beyoncé went on to achieve extraordinary commercial success, while Amerie followed a much quieter path in the industry. That contrast has continued to spark conversations among fans. Some wonder how Amerie's career might have unfolded if she had received the same level of promotion, investment, and industry support as some of her peers. Whether or not those comparisons are fair, many listeners still credit Amerie with helping shape the sound of an era and believe her contributions to R&B deserve greater recognition today.
Would be like, wait, that's not your record? Why did he give that record to you? And I'm like, he never played that record for me. But after our first album, see the thing, what happened during that time?
Tell us.
Like after.
Tell us what happened. This is gonna be all over the internet.
After the.
There's gonna be a whole line, girl.
It's really, I mean, it's really simple. It's like we did the first album, right? And after the first album came out, it made a lot of noise, and people really loved that album. And Jay loved the album too.
They were at the time. Both artists were signed to the urban division of Columbia Records, meaning they were competing for many of the same promotional resources and opportunities. Beyoncé ultimately received a larger marketing budget and benefited from an experienced team with deep industry connections, making it difficult for emerging artists to compete on the same level. Amerie's relationship with the label later deteriorated following the troubled rollout of one of her albums, and she eventually parted ways with Columbia Records. She has spoken about how discouraging that period was, explaining that the experience left her deeply disillusioned with the music industry. For years afterward, she found it difficult to listen not only to Beyoncé's music, but to other artists as well because it reminded her of the career she felt had slipped away.
It was kind of like a defense mechanism, actually. So I went through like 10 years where I didn't listen to anything.
Why?
But generally, see, I thought that it was because now I'm writing. My novel's coming out June 10th, by the way. I thought it was because, you're in writing mode and you're not in that right now. But then I realized later, I was like, you weren't listening to music because you were trying to avoid it. You felt like it was going to make you angsty because it's going to make you want to make music, which is going to make you kind of like, oh, but this is the time, and how last time this, and maybe that won't work, and how do I do this, and how do I do that? So all you're gonna do is be frustrated. And so that just made me be like, I'm not listening to any music.
Because of how everything unfolded, Some fans have come to believe that Amerie was another artist who struggled to compete in an industry dominated by bigger stars. Others have long felt that Beyoncé's Green Light shares similarities with Amerie's One Thing, fueling years of online debate about influence and inspiration. Many listeners even argue that Amerie helped shape a sound that later became more mainstream. But what do you think? Did Beyoncé draw inspiration from Amerie's style, or are the comparisons overblown? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.